Thursday, July 22nd. Welcome to Leo season. So the sun, which is our life force, which gives basically the spark, the joy, the excitement back to us threefold, is moving into his place of power in Leo. Leo is the heart and soul of the zodiac. It is where we, as our inner lion, inner lioness, step out from the cave in which we've been definitely retreating in to lick our wounds. All right. We definitely weren't even shy about the fact that we were like, you know what, jungle fam, I got to take a time out here. I can't even let you see my wounds. I can't even let you see that I even, accumulated a scar. So I'll be back when I'm feeling myself again. So the sun in Leo is now feeling himself again. He's coming out and he's going to give a big roar to let us know that, hey, he's still alive. He's ready. He's coming out with a bravery, with a boldness, bearing his scars like the battle wounds of pride. And that's what this is all about. So we're going to get fired up. Leo is a fire sign. It is a fixed sign. It is, where we get a little bit of braveness and confidence back to go after what it is that we want. What do we want? Well, we got to listen to our heart space about that. We have a lot of power activating our heart chakras with the sun in Leo. We have to remember here that fire energy creates action. We are in a month of experimenting with taking action in order to recalibrate ourselves, rebalance ourselves, prepare ourselves for a brand new reality. So let's talk about the heart and the soul for a second. First of all, what do we know about the heart and the soul? Well, it's where we basically love from. What are we here to do in this physical realm? We're here to love. Why? Because this world has been constructed to throw all the negativity that should break our heart, turn us bitter, and make us hateful. And what do we need to do? We need to rise above that because love wins every time. This is going to create a time for us to recognize where it is that our heart has definitely incurred a lot of scars, right? Now, disclaimer, we're moving out of Cancer season, which was all about sitting in the depressiveness, the nostalgia, the memories, the pain, the trauma. Coming in to Leo season, we're done with that, okay? We're done with that. Now we are brave enough to take a look at our wounded heart and say, you know what? I survived. I'm better because of it. Didn't know how strong I was. So we're finding the silver lining. We're plucking out the empowerment of the potentially negative situations that took place. Why? Because it breaks us down into learning about who it is that we are. Pain and suffering forces us to move inward, to break down who it is that we are so that we can align to our higher and authentic selves. Why? Because we're here to complete a soul mission, right? So the heart and soul of the zodiac brings the playful element back to life. There's new sparks being ignited. This is great for love, great for romance, great for creative endeavors. This is an entertaining energy because, again, we're in the spotlight. We're the king of the jungle. We want to remind people who we are. We have stories to tell, especially those war stories that, those pretty cool wounds that we're now like sporting and showing off that we now have. We're not victimized from those stories anymore. We're empowered by them. We want to tell our stories. We want people to hear us. We want to stand in the spotlight. We're very passionate, especially about the new desires that we just identified, about the new realities that we want to be living. We are aligning with pride and purpose. This is big ideas. This is grandest action. If you are going to make a move and shoot your shot, whether it's love or money or whatever the case may be, the sun in Leo is the time to do it, right? Especially if you're following your heart. Now, does that mean that you're going to get what it is you want? Maybe, right? This is an opportune time to get what it is that you want. However, may I remind you that if you put yourself out there and somehow you find yourself rejected, it's because you weren't recognizing your own worth. We've had many opportunities over this past year to level up our worth And if you are still vibing high and still going back to low vibrational people and you're getting rejected, it's because you don't see your own worth. There is no loss. Everything that is meant to you will come to you in perfect timing. If you go after something and you are rejected by it, it was not meant for you. Don't spend too much crying over it. Open your heart to see what else can actually come out of this situation. Because I'm going to tell you, it's not about crying over the wounds. It's not about crying over the rejection. We did that. That was Cancer season. We did that. We're done with that. We are turning it into a source of power. This is going to be a time where we are really going to be experimenting with fun again. Lord knows we need it. You know, the vibrations have been very low, very chaotic, very unstable. And if nothing else, we deserve a season where we can let our hair down, just have fun, play with what's going on in our life, and just open that heart up that much more. So with any kind of energy, there is a con, there is a shadow side, and we want to make sure that we are not borderline arrogant. Okay, so sometimes when we get this burst of energy, we want to put ourselves out there and, you know, we're no longer sitting in the victimhood of the situations. That confidence can be borderline arrogant. We don't want to do that. We want to remember that we all have a truth to speak. And if we're all speaking our truth all at the same time, what happens? Nobody gets heard. Yes, your story is important. Yes, your experience is important. Yes, your voice deserves to be heard, but so does other people. The shadow part of the Leo energy is that we tend to just want to speak and we really don't want to listen. And that can create a lot of pain and suffering in our current relationships. Another shadow part is that we tend to want to control, okay? So I want you to think about the king of the jungle here for a second. Doesn't he just damn right walk a borderline where he just wants to control everybody in the jungle? Like, there's a difference of understanding the respect that you get for providing people with safety and security and giving them heartfelt compassion when needed. But, you know, when you kind of demand it, you lose that little, you know, authentic energy exchange, if you will. There is a borderline where we tend to want to control our environment, control the outcome. And that's why I say to you earlier, if you put yourself out there and you shoot your shot and you're rejected, don't go back to your cave, right? Don't go back and lick those wounds for another 6 months before you put yourself out there. That is just ridiculous. Just recognize that everything is divinely scripted. If that particular person was meant for you, you'd be together. If that job was meant for you, you'd have it by now, right? Like, there is a certain acceptance that we have to do, especially through Leo season. We're recognizing that our heart wants what it wants, but if it ain't for us, it ain't for us. And it might be hard to understand, but our higher self knows better. So yeah, we got to sit in the fields. We got to go after what it is that we want, what we desire. And if we're shot down, then we sit in it for 2 seconds. We don't go back to the cave. We remind ourselves that we're the freaking king of the jungle here. There are other lionesses out there, right? Proud to be a queen next to this king, or vice versa. You know what I mean. So to summarize, the sun in Leo is going to fire us up in all the right ways. Let it be the right way. Do not go into the shadow side. We have a lot of potential here to experiment, to have fun, to open ourselves up, to open our heart chakras to new experiences, new levels of opportunity and abundance. So make sure that you are the proudest lion that you could be in all the land. And make sure that when you roar, people know to turn their heads and to pay attention to what it is you have to say.